it's Matt from Fix It Physio. I'm here today on Fix It Physio TV talking about scan results and who's the best person to chat to about those. So I'll keep it fairly quick, but basically the background is you might have had an x-ray of your back, you might have had an ultrasound of your shoulder, an MRI of your knee. There's all sorts of scans out there that can help to diagnose what the structural problem might be in one of your joints or muscles or tendons. And so the question is, who's the best person to chat to about those results? And obviously the obvious people would either be your GP, physio, specialist, or maybe another allied health professional. And what's the difference going to be depending on who you speak to? So basically my opinion is biased, obviously being a physio, but I think physios have a big picture in terms of your whole body, your whole area, what you do. Physios can assess things to see whether they match the results of the scan and come up with a diagnosis based on the scan results as well as your functional capacities and movements and things. Quite often, scans will come back with something and it would just be a coincidence of something that would have been there probably for years and years, never caused any issue, and then all of a sudden you've got this new pain and you assume that the thing showing up on the scan is actually what's causing your pain. That can be actually a really harmful piece of information because you'll end up believing one thing, trying to treat one thing when it's actually going to be something else, or that scan result is actually going to be just a small part of the bigger picture. And you probably really need to have a good detailed look at the whole story. So physios can take that one piece of information, put it into the whole picture and let you know what you need to do to get better. GPs are great, but often when it comes to musculoskeletal issues like pains, injuries, conditions like that, GPs have a basic training, but they are limited in time because they are doing so many good things all through the day with people with a range of complaints. They usually have short appointment times. They're not going to have time to really go through everything with you. So they'll generally take that little shortcut, see what the report says, and make a decision based on those few words, which, as I said, can sometimes be misleading. And it can actually send you down completely the wrong path. One example is low back pain. If you've got a disc bulge, I have seen GPs sort of panic about that and make people panic about that. Disc bulges are a bit like grey hairs. They're a common part of aging. There's a lot of different classifications, I guess. One disc bulge can be really minor. One thing can be poking on a nerve and cause all sorts of dramas. Some do need surgeries, a lot of them don't, but sometimes the GPs won't really know how to distinguish between all that, and they might end up causing you to panic. Go to a specialist, recommend you don't do anything, and it can actually create a increase in pain just because you kind of panic and you think, oh no, I'm doomed here. Some GPs who do have an interest in that kind of thing will be really good to chat to about it, but often enough they're going to have a short look at the report and they're going to assume that the report's correct and they're going to make a decision based on that. And that decision won't always be physio either, so you might end up missing a great amount of help that we could give you. And the next one is a specialist. So specialists are really experts in their particular field. So there'll be a shoulder specialist, knee specialist, hip specialist. So something like an MRI that's really detailed, something where it's looking fairly severe, or there's a few things to look at, it might be a bit complex. Specialists are quite amazing at reading MRIs, looking at the bits that might not be on the report, and using that to plan usually whether they need surgery or not, or grading. Again, they'll do a bit of assessment on your strengths and things, and try to put in a full clinical picture. Specialists are a little more expensive to get to, and a lot of the time you won't need to see a specialist for your scan result. But if there's something where you've got a lot of swelling, you can't really put weight on your leg, or you can't move your shoulder, specialists are actually quite good. They're armed with a really specialist level knowledge of what those scans are going to show and how that's going to fit in with your particular condition. So, so generally, yep, physios can help you out pretty much with everything. GPs will have a quick look, and some GPs are going to be better than others at going through scan results with you, and specialists are really going to have a detailed look at that, probably 10% of injuries that really need to be looked at under the microscope, so to speak. So hopefully that helps. If you've got any questions, pop them down in the comments. I'd love to clarify anything further. Have a great day.